And we are back with Jason Herrin. We listened to all your wonderful songs that you just performed for us. And now you're in the hot seat because I get to interview you and ask you whatever I want. I got a 50-50 shot of an answer. I do know that. Well, one thing that we were chatting about earlier, and that is kind of one of your babies, is your open mic nights that you hold. Tell us about that.
I hosted one at this place in downtown Waxahachie. We won't drop names, but it was great. It was great. But people weren't happy with the venue, and then it didn't work out.
Right.
That's all there is to it. It didn't work out, so I got another place that actually contacted me the first of last year and said, hey, would you be interested in hosting an open mic? It's Southern Roots Brewery down in downtown. They have the best pizza. It's so good.
Oh, yeah?
The first and third Wednesday of every month, I host an open mic. I've met so many fantastic singer-songwriters and people that I probably wouldn't have met if I didn't do it. And not only that, I just made a family out of these people. They show up every time.
Yeah.
They play new songs. We write songs together. We try to make. I mean, we've kind of made a little clique, if you would say.
Right.
Like down in some towns, you can't get booked there because all the bands are all hemmed up at all the bars and they take all the work.
Austin, Texas.
So that's kind of Well, there's a lot of them,
Yeah.
So I kind of thought, well, we have a good group of musicians here that are all very talented. We get together and we do benefits to help out people.
Nice.
The last time they did one at Railport in downtown, the other brewery down there. Mm-hmm. I got a video. The whole group up there was singing one of my songs. It was pretty
nice.
cool. Yeah, it was cool that they were all singing my song. While I walked in, didn't even know. It's like, I think they're playing one of your songs, and they sure were.
That's really super cool.
So all the people that come to my open mic, and it's a good thing to keep people writing songs, because I don't think that there's a bad song. I think that somebody asked me one time, about writing songs, and I was just like, man, just write what you know how to write, and don't try to, don't force it. Because, I don't consider myself a phenomenal songwriter. It's just what comes out at the time. Sometimes I'll write 10 songs in a day. Sometimes I won't write anything for 2 or 3 years. Mm-hmm. It just depends. You have to be in that mode. Right. And I think that there's somebody that wants to hear it, regardless of whether somebody told me once, you got to record everything that you write, just because there might be somebody that needs to hear it. I don't know. I can't explain it. Like I said, at nighttime, I stay up with these melodies in my head or words that I could put together, and I have to get up in the middle of the night, and I have all these little my guitar case, it's in there, but it's full of notes, just parts of songs or ideas that I come up with.
That means you're a songwriter.
Yeah, and I didn't want to be I didn't want to be blessed with it. I didn't. I wish I'd have played baseball or something else, but here I am.
Well, you can't help it, though. I mean,
and people ask me, why do you do that? I'm like, I can't help it. I wish I could do something else, but I can't.
Right. Now, when you're writing songs, you just said you got words going through your head and melodies. What do you think drives your writing the most, the melodies or the lyrics? What usually comes first for you?
Both ways. Everybody has a different take on it. Sometimes I'll hear something and that could be a song, and I have to go find something to write it down on. Mm-hmm. Or I'll think of something, or I'll be playing guitar and that's pretty cool, and I'll keep doing it over and it drives my wife insane. She's like, what are you doing in there? You're playing the same melody over and over and over. I was like, because I want to figure out what I'm hearing in my head. I can't put it on a guitar, so I got to figure it out.
Right.
It's very complicated, and it gets convoluted, and there's times where I don't know why I wrote that song. I don't remember why I wrote it. I found a song the other day that I wrote. I couldn't tell you why I wrote it or what I was doing. I don't remember any of it.
It may have been, sometimes writing is very therapeutic and cleansing, and you could have been just cleansing at that time, and so it's healthy, I think, to do that.
It's my therapy. That's my son started playing guitar, and he's like, "Dad, this is so therapeutic." I'm like, "You have no idea."
Yeah.
The worst days can turn into the best days if you write a good song when you get home.
Right? Yeah. I want to go back in time a little bit. Tell us where you were born and raised.
Here, Waxahachie.
Here in Waxahachie.
Yeah, I went to high school here and graduated in 1997.
Okay.
All my friends out there that still come out and support my music, they're good friends of mine, classmates. We grew up together.
Awesome.
And Waxahachie was a good place to be.
Mm-hmm. So how old were you when you started playing guitar?
I actually was working nights at this factory called Tyler Refrigeration, and I get off at 2 in the morning. I just started there. We were working in an old building, if y'all remember where that was at. I worked down in that old dirty place, and I worked there at nighttime. And there was a guy that played heavy metal music like all night, as loud as it would go, and it would just fire me up. I liked it. It made me work hard, whatever.
Okay.
But one day I got off at like 2, and I called my cousin Brad, who ended up being in a band with me for a long time, and then I said, "You still got a guitar?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Man, I don't think I'm gonna teach myself to play it." And I said, "Can I come over and borrow it?" And he said, "Well, it's been in that closet for years, so I don't know if it even works." So I rigged it up where I could hook it up to an amp and run it into these headphones. And I had a CD player, one of them mini CD players. And I had Boston's first album, pretty much the only CD that wouldn't skip in that thing. So I sat there and I worked on that record, just trying to figure out how to play the songs on his guitar for years. And one day...
You were listening to Boston trying to teach yourself to play guitar, and you're a country person.
Yeah. Well, I like heavy metal too, so there's that. But I was probably about 19. I was newly married. We were living with our parents. We were trying to get a trailer house put in next door to where Travis lives now, and out on going towards Avalon. Out there, and I had a house that we were having put in, so we were staying with our parents, which drove me nuts. And we had all of our stuff in this little small room, and she would sleep, and I'd get home at 2 a.m. listening to heavy metal all night. I was wired up, ready to do something. Wow. So I wouldn't go to bed till 6 or 7 in the morning because I'd sit in there and just play guitar. And she says, "I don't care if you do it, just put some headphones on." So sometimes it would still be too loud, but I'd be over there doing more than a feeling, for 6 hours or whatever.
That's awesome.
I started when I was about 19 or so. 19. Plus, I sang in church a lot. I got married really young, and
And when did you realize that you could write your own stuff?
I was hanging out with this dude named Big John Mills. He lives in San Marcos. He's a big fella, plays guitar behind his head, and he's an amazing guitar player. He lived in Houston at the time, and I'd ran into him, and I told him I was a musician. I saw him play, and I was like, "Man, you're one of the best guitar players I've seen in a long time," And we made friends, and I went back to his room where he was staying because he played at the Texas Theater.
Okay.
And we wrote a song called "I Don't Want to Be Famous," and it was the first song that I ever wrote. And I showed it to him, and there was a line in there where I said, "Put Haggard on the side." He says, "You don't ever want to put Merle Haggard on the side, bro. Put on some Haggard Tonight or something else. You got to change that line." So we changed the whole song around and rearranged it. And it's called "I Don't Want to Be Famous." It's the first song I ever wrote, and after that, it just kind of every day I had to do something.
Right.
It was stuck in my brain. It's just one of those things. Once you go down that path, it's like heroin. I never used heroin, but I heard it's right up there with what I'm doing. Like, you got to do it.
Healthy heroin.
Yeah, it's healthy heroin.
Now, you had mentioned that David Harness was a good friend of yours, and Chris Stiles, and they at one time or another played in a band. Do you still have your band? My band kind of just dissolved after the end of the year this year because my drummer had to take off. He's having his knees replaced. Now, he's been my drummer for 20-plus years. Win Lyons is his name. His daddy was a phenomenal Western swing guitar player, and he was just a really good pocket drummer, and he's been with me forever and ever, but he had to have his knee replaced, and he's 20 years older than me, so he just said, "Man, I'm going to have this knee replaced in January and this one done in February." So he had to be off. And then my bass player kind of got a family and he's younger than us, so he's trying to, do his thing, and he played on a lot of my records, one of my really good friends, and he's just like, and he lives in Fort Worth now, so it's tough for us to hang out, get together, and play, So I found some guys locally. I live in Berry, Texas, which is about 45 minutes from Waxahachie. I moved down there with my wife 2 years ago, I think. 2 years. We've been living there, and I found a guy that lives in Blooming Grove, plays drums,
And the guy who plays bass lives over in Avalon, so it works out perfect.
Here comes another band.
Here comes another band. So we've started rehearsals, so right now we're
Good.
working on some of my older stuff, and
Good.
we'll get back out and start playing.
Yeah, keeping a band together is hard.
Oh, it is.
Really
I've
hard.
went through 4 or 5 of them probably.
I bet.
But I use it, like I said, I kept that drummer for, Wynn's been with me. He's like a dad to me. He taught me right from wrong, told me don't do that.
Yeah.
Whatever you're about to do, do not do that.
Yeah.
He kept me in line, and it was awesome how good he was to me, is to me. I still talk to him at least once or twice a week.
Aw, that's good. That's good. Who would you say, well, I know Boston and are your influences somewhat, but who would you say your most influential people are in your...
The first time I saw Todd Snyder play, that was it for me. That was like, man, he's great. I want to be like that guy. Mm-hmm. Todd Snyder, and I saw Mike McClure after the Great Divide. Mike McClure plays rock and roll kind of, but he's Texas country, whatever. Produced all the ragweed stuff. I was a huge fan of Mike McClure. Got to play with him a few times, but
nice.
Todd Snyder, just him and an acoustic guitar could sell out a room 3-4 nights. That's what I wanted to do. 'Cause
Yeah.
he had songs that you would listen to and go, wow, and it relates to you. It's just, music is very subjective, so
Oh, yeah.
I like the Drive-By Truckers a whole lot. That's one of my favorite bands, just because I like the rock and roll, man. I love
Right.
playing rock and roll. I can do all the country stuff. I played in a million dance halls, but I like playing rock and roll. It's fun.
So, have you thought about writing in a rock and roll vein as well as your
Oh,
country?
these songs, some of them I played them just a little bit. These are acoustical versions of electrical songs. If I can,
Okay.
some of them are just. I took those words and showed y'all what the words are about tonight. But there's also some, guitar riffs
Yeah.
and stuff in there that are really cool that we came up with when we recorded them. And David Harness and I were in a rock and roll outfit. David had a mohawk, played a pointed guitar. It was awesome.
Wow.
I wore eyeliner a couple times just because that's what the girls were into, whatever. So
That's hilarious.
We played in a band called 5W Dirty, and we put out a record, and we played a lot of places in a crappy old van and drove all over the place, and we played, a lot.
Now you were playing your originals?
Mm-hmm. We
Yeah.
were doing originals.
Okay.
Just me and David. We liked what the Drive-By Truckers were doing, so we're trying to do that.
Right.
Trying to have some guitar riffs and some, cool stuff with these deep lyrics, that matter,
Yeah.
That's what we were trying to do. And, and that band kind of just fizzled out. David and I kind of went different directions for a little bit. I
Right.
kind of wanted to play country because it pays the bills, and he kind of wanted to do rock and roll where they painted his face and all that stuff. And I was like, David, I love.
He didn't get past the eyeliner yet.
That was as far as I'd go.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it was fun. Like, we had a lot of good times. We got to meet a lot of people. We played a lot of shows, and our show was really good. And we didn't do nothing but originals. We did like 2 covers at first,
Right.
And then we just took them out of the set and just kept doing our songs. And me and
Great.
David could write together, and we could play together. We thought we were going to be the Beatles, to be honest. Because we wanted to write like that,
That's really
But we
cool.
still write together a lot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, have you thought about doing a tour over in Europe at all? I know that Europe is really loves American songwriters.
Sure, absolutely. I got invited to play in Dublin. COVID happened. Didn't get to do that. I got an email one time. They wanted us to come to Sweden and play for a couple shows. Never did work out. It just never worked out. There's always some reason I couldn't go. But if somebody called tomorrow and said, "Can you come to Europe?" Yes, I'll be there.
Okay.
I'll go
good.
get my passport, however long that takes. So I've never had one. I'm fixing to get
you
one.
probably
so.
need to go get one.
Yeah.
Oh boy! And so, are you the only musical person in your family, or
No, my Uncle Mike, who was probably one of my Uncle Mike and my Uncle Leon, my Uncle Bill, these are all my grandmother's. My mother's brother, Mike, just passed away last year, but one of my biggest influences. He taught me guitar. He showed me things when I didn't understand them. He showed me songs that I thought were cool that he could play. And he was just one of my biggest supporters. He told me, "Man, you write good songs. You should do that." Mm-hmm. And my Uncle Leon, Jordan, the same way. He's still around, still plays a lot. probably 2-3 days a week. And
Yeah.
Leon played the VFW in Waxahachie. First time I heard him play, I was probably 10 years old.
Oh, wow.
And my grandmother worked there as a bartender, and I remember sitting there, and she was a pistol. Gran is still a pistol, but she worked there. And, she was, as long as I didn't get up and bother nobody, they would let me sit at the bar, and
nice.
she would give me cherry cokes. And my mom was working nights or whatever it was, and that's why I had to be there. But
Right.
my Uncle Leon's band would play, and they did, all the old standards, and people
So you
danced.
come by this honestly, then?
Yeah,
It's
maybe.
in your blood. Yeah.
Maybe. Those guys all played, and I always looked up to them and wanted to be a player. And then they would have these family reunions every year, and everybody'd sit around with the guitars. And it was so cool when I finally got to playing, I could go play with them.
Mm-hmm.
And getting to play with those guys, it was just like, wow, they are so good, and I need to practice.
You said you have a 4-year-old that just got a guitar.
No, my son is 22.
Oh, he's 22. Okay,
Yeah.
where did I get 4 from? Oh,
Well, I have grandkids. I actually have 3 grandkids.
You're not that old.
No. Well, I got 3. I'm not that old. I'm not old. But no, I have 2 granddaughters, and I just had a grandson. He's turning 1 this month, actually, or February.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm excited. My daughter plays piano. My son just started playing guitar. Like he just got baptized last week, so I'm very proud of him.
Oh, yeah.
Praise Jesus. But he started playing guitar, and he says, man, I gave him a guitar. It's kind of a crappy one, and he's been playing it, and it's the action's real high. And if you don't understand action, it's where the strings are up too high, and you have to push them really hard when you first start learning. So I thought, you learn on that, you can learn on anything. So
No kidding.
He started, I had it set up and fixed up for him where he could play it, but it had high action. But he played it for a little while. He says, Dad, I'm learning some guitar. And I was like, what? And he came over, and I got out I have a J45 that I got from my brother Butch.
Yeah.
And a divorce that he had.
So you bonused on your brother's divorce.
I did. He's like, man, I got to get rid of this guitar. I said, I know just the person you need to sell it to.
There you go.
There he is. But I got this really nice J45, and my son was at the house and started playing guitar, and I just told him, why don't you take that J45 home? I never had anything that nice when I first started playing.
Right.
But I told him just take care of it and don't sell it.
Yeah.
And,
I'm sure the first one probably had bloody fingers.
Oh yeah,
after
yeah.
all
It
that.
was, but hey, that's how I learned. That's how he should learn.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it has been so wonderful getting to know you and hearing your music, and I look forward to seeing where you go.
Well, I've already been there. I've come back. Now I'm going to go back again. That's what I'm going to do.
Okay, there you go. That works. Well, we will definitely keep up with you, and hope to have you back in here again.
Oh, I'd love to. This
I
is
know
a great
our
room.
audience just has loved us tonight. Yeah, definitely. That's a lot of fun. It's kind of like a church social on steroids with great music. So, yeah, we'll do that.
Is there going to be chicken?
Always.
Okay. As long as there's chicken.
Randy's Frito pie.
Yeah. All righty. Well, everybody, you keep on listening. You are in the music room.
Thank you, guys.